Hello friends, in this video let's discuss about various types of constructors in C++. In C++, a constructor is a special member function of the class which has its name same as the class name. A constructor is required to initialize the data of an object as soon as it is created. In C++, we have different types of constructors like default constructor, parameterized constructor, and copy constructor. Let's discuss default constructors first. A default constructor is the constructor which doesn't take any argument, means it has no parameters. So we can see syntax for default constructor here. The constructor name should be same as the class name followed by parenthesis, pair of parentheses. Just like a member function, it also can be defined either inside a class or outside the class. So within the body of the constructor, we usually initialize the data of particular object. So you can see here syntax class name parenthesis followed by body of the constructor. Let's take an example. In this example, we have class cube in which we write int side. So side is the data variable of the class cube which is present in the private section, because we didn't write any section while declaring int side. After that, we have public section within which we write constructor for the cube class and we assign value 10 to side variable. So here side is equals to 10. So you can see that constructors generally they are written in public section. So here in the main function we declare object for the cube. When we declare object for the cube class, immediately it calls the constructor of the cube class where it gets initialized. Its data variable gets initialized. So side equals to 10. So when we access the property side with the help of object C, so C dot side will print the value 10 because soon after the creation of object it calls the constructor and gets initialized. So in this case, as soon as the object is created, the constructor is called which initializes its data members. A default constructor is so important for initialization of object members that even if we do not define a constructor explicitly, the compiler will provide a default constructor implicitly. So sometimes we don't write explicitly the constructor definition in the class. Then when we create an object for the class, the compiler it implements constructor, default constructor implicitly to initialize the objects. Next, let's discuss about parameterized constructors. Parameterized constructors are the constructors with parameters list. Using this constructor, you can provide different values to data members of different objects by passing the appropriate values as arguments. So while creating objects to particular class, we can pass parameters. Those are the data values that need to be initialized for that object. So for example, if you take class cube, so in the public section we are declaring int side variable and cube constructor with parameter int x is defined here. Within the body, side equals to x. Here x is the parameter which is passed while creating the object to cube class. So you can see here in the main function, while creating first object for cube class, cube c1 of 10. That means c1 object side value is 10. Cube c2 of 20. That means c2 object property which is side is assigned to 20. Then cube c3 of 30. Here c3 object property set to 30. While you print cout c1 dot side, cout c2 dot side, cout c3 dot side, the output will be 10, 20 and 30. By using parameterized constructor in above case, we have initialized 3 objects with user defined values. We can have any number of parameters in a constructor. Now let's discuss about copy constructors. These are special type of constructors which takes an object as parameter or argument and is used to copy values of data members of one object into other object. That means copy constructors are used to copy an entire object into a new object. That means all properties of an object can be copied into a new object. So a copy constructor is a member function which initializes an object using another object of the same class. That means it gets the values same as the old object. A copy constructor has the following general function prototype. Its name is same as the class name. The parameter should be const class name ampersand old object semicolon. So this is the function prototype to declare a copy constructor. So here we have an example. So we take point class here, within which we have 2 private variables int x comma y. In the public section we have parameterized constructor point int x1 comma int y1. Within the body we are assigning x1 to x variable, so x equals to x1, y equals to y1. Then we define copy constructor, where the copy constructor header is class name, that is point, followed by parameter. The parameter should be a constant class type reference. So const point ampersand p2. So here you can see x equals to p2 dot x, y equals to p2 dot y. That means when you create an object to point using copy constructor, so the old object values copied into new object data properties. Int getx, int getY are the 2 different member functions. So in the main function you can see point p1 of 10 comma 15. That means p1 object will get its properties initialized. So x property will be initialized to 10, y property will be initialized to 15. Then point p2 equals to p1. So here in this case copy constructor gets triggered and the values of the previous object p1 are copied into the properties of p2. So for p2 also x becomes 10 and y becomes 15. Then if you access the values using the member functions, you can see cout p1 dot x equals to p1 dot get x, p1 dot y equals to p1 dot get y, cout p2 dot x equals to p2 dot get x, p2 dot y equals to p2 dot get y. Here y we are using like this because x and y properties are initialized as private members. So private members should be accessed with the help of member functions of the class only. Finally, you will get same results. That means for p1 object also you get x equals to 10, y equals to 15. For p2 object also x is 10, y is 15. So this copy constructor is useful when you want to copy entire properties of a particular object into another new object. In that case, copy constructor will help you to solve the problem. Thanks for watching this video.